Hello everyone. As we studied what is flow net, in the previous class we studied flow net is coming whenever the seepage is being taking place, but we don't know what is flow net which is being taken. That means the flow net is nothing but this is a graphical representation, the water how it is coming out in a soil mass. That means the water representation, the graphical representation of a water is nothing but your flow net, which is graphical representation. It is a curved line which is formed by the combination of flow lines. That means the flow line is nothing but whenever it is getting a leakage in the seepage, as I said, there will be some leakages. So that leakages will be continuously leakage. The point, from where exactly the point of leakage, as you can see a picture diagram, so that you will be understanding. If this is a soil mass, somewhere there will be some leakage here. So this line, the leakage of this line, that means if it is like this, so this leakage, that means this water is getting leakage from the soil mass. So this soil mass leaking of that line, this is nothing but your flow line. Now this flow line is nothing but your over, like how many leakages are taking place, all these leakages will be considered as your flow net. So this will be your flow net when it is giving into that. And you also have an equipotential lines. This equipotential lines is nothing but it is a property which will be taking into consideration. As we all know, this property which will be taking into consideration for equipotential lines, that means the flow of flow net will be applicable, as this flow nets will be represented by the path of flow. Whatever the path which is how the water is getting leakage, that will be taken into consideration. As you also form an equipotential lines, that means the interconnecting of these lines. These interconnecting of lines will be total head, how much head is taken. So you can see in the diagram very clearly that you can see in this diagram now. So that in this diagram, if you see, there is a concrete dam. So that in this concrete dam, if you see in this concrete dam, there will be an that means like flow of water, and you also see an equipotential line, and you also see, I show you, wait a bit, see. So you can see this is a 90 degrees angle which is formed. That means the 90 degrees angle, whenever this flow of water is taking place, that 90 degrees angle which is formed to the dam, whatever the dam which is taking, that line which is known as your flow lines. And you have that means you have here the flow nets, and which is taking, as you all know, the flow lines between the equipotential lines. As you know, as I said, if you see here, this is a flow line and this is a flow line of a particular soil sample whenever it is taking, and you can see an angle forming. This angle, that is nothing but your equipotential line here. The equipotential line, which is nothing but the two flow nets, that means the two flow lines which are joining with this flow net in the curved path, that is nothing but your equipotential line here. And you also have the height, whatever the height, if you see here, the height which is present, you can see, that means the dam of height and from the depth, that means this is nothing but your head height, how much head height is taken into consideration for a particular concrete dam structure, and how the flow nets are being, that means the flow lines are being formed. The horizontally main, that means which is making a 90 degrees of angle, will be taken as consideration as your flow line here. Next we will be seeing this properties, how these properties will be taken. That means, as I said, the angle of intersection between each flow line, that means each flow line, that means the space between the two flow lines is an equipotential line which will be making an angle of 90 degrees. As I showed you in the diagram, previous diagram, it will be showing with a 90 degrees of angle also. And next, if you see, there will be some orthogonal projections also. That means the two flow lines or equipotential lines will never touch. Whatever the potential lines will be, in the diagram you will be not getting any touch, as the head loss between the two adjacent potential lines also will be same. And even the next is the permeability of this permeability, that means the water which is getting permeability here, that is an independent one. And the space between the two lines, whatever the two lines and the two equipotential lines, we call them as flow field. This is an flow field for 2 marks question. The space between the two lines and two equipotential lines is called as flow field, and it is should be in square form only. That means the space between the two equipotential lines, as I show you in the diagram, see here very clearly, it indicates, that means the flow lines here and equipotential lines, you will be getting a square box here. So this space is nothing but your here, this space is nothing but the space between this is nothing but your flow field here. Now if you see this, either this flow they may be have smooth curves also, either the flow lines or equipotential lines can be drawn very smoothly also. Next, how these flow lines and the parameters are used in soil. The first one is rate of seepage, how this rate of seepage is taken into consideration, and the second one is seepage pressure, and the third one is uplift pressure, and the fourth one is extent gradient. If we go for the first one, what is seepage pressure? The seepage loss, whatever the loss which is given, that will be given nothing but the discharge, that is Q, will be using it as Q. And this flow nut and the loss of quantity, whatever the quantity which is given, that will be taken in the formula, that is Q is equal to K into H. Whereas here K is nothing but the coefficient of permeability, as we are studying from the past, the K is nothing but the constant which is coefficient of permeability which we use, and H is nothing but the head cause of the flow, that means the height of the flow wherever it is getting a cause, that is nothing but no. And N suffix S is nothing but how many number of flow lines are there, and next is N suffix D, that means equipotential lines how many are there, that is taken into consideration. And delta B is nothing but width of the flow of a field, and delta L is nothing but the length of the flow of the field. And the next one is seepage pressure, as we indicate the seepage pressure with P suffix S, and this P suffix S, it's nothing but at any point you can determine this the pressure, that means the height of it and whatever it is, at any point we can determine the pressure here. So we have a formula rho W by H, that means where rho W is nothing but unit weight of a particular water, H is nothing but hydraulic gradient at n potentials, that means we are considering it for n number, that means n number of lines may be forming, we don't know how much that n will be, as if we have taken only flow knots only 2, then our n will be here 2, if it is like 3, if it is so on like 8 or whatever the number, n is nothing but the equipotential number which is taken, how many flow knots numbers are taken into consideration. You have a formula for this. And delta H here, it is nothing but the drop, how much drop, the equivalent height from the drop, how it is forming to the down, we will be taking into consideration also. And the next is uplift pressure, as we all know this uplift pressure of a particular point, whatever the point with the soil mass to be considered, and how the hydrostatic pressure is taken into consideration, how the pressure is taken into consideration, for that we will be having P suffix U, and you also have a formula for this also. And here we will be using the piezometer head, that means from the height of that we will be using the piezometer head to, that means to get the total elevation from the top to the bottom, so we will be using this formula. Then the last one is extent gradient, as extent gradient is nothing but the downstream, whatever the downstream the water is coming down to the end of the seepage to join the free water, how the free water is nothing but after getting leakage there will be some joining, the water will be going and joining with some water, already present water, so that is nothing but your extent gradient. For that we will be having delta H by delta L, but delta L is nothing but the flow field, and delta H we already studied the potential drops which are from two adjacent sides. And this is about the flow nuts, what are the parameters they have, and how these different types of flow nuts are being taking, that means what is a free flow field, what is flow line, equipotential line, we have studied in this flow nut and its properties also. We'll continue in the next session. Thank you.